On the edge of a quiet village, hidden by the thick shadows of an ancient forest, two twins lived lives as ordinary as anyone could imagine, or so everyone thought. But one night, everything changed. One of the twins stumbled upon a creature no one else dared even whisper about, a monster feared by all, trapped and helpless. While the world slept, this young twin made a choice that would defy fear, challenge disbelief, and awaken a bond stronger than anyone could imagine. And when darkness returned, the monster came back, not as a threat, but as a guardian. This is the story of courage, compassion, and the night when kindness became a force more powerful than fear. In the heart of a quiet village, nestled between rolling hills and the dense shadows of an ancient forest, two twins lived a life that, at first glance, seemed simple. One of them, Aaron, carried a heart so gentle that even the tiniest of animals seemed drawn to him. His twin, Leo, was mischievous, often pushing boundaries, always seeking thrills and laughter, sometimes at the expense of others. Together, they were inseparable, yet their contrasting personalities painted every day with a different shade of life. The village itself was ordinary in every way, but for one mystery: the forest that bordered it. Stories whispered by old villagers told of strange sounds in the night, of shadows moving in impossible ways, of creatures that no one had seen and lived to describe. Most dismiss these stories as superstition, the kind of tales old people tell children to keep them from wandering too far. But Aaron had always felt a pull toward that forest, a curiosity mixed with caution, a sense that it held secrets meant only for those brave enough to see. One cold evening, as twilight painted the sky in hues of violet and gold, Aaron wandered a little farther than usual, following the distant calls of an injured animal. He pushed through the dense underbrush until he stumbled upon a clearing bathed in the last remnants of sunlight. And there, caught in a trap made of cruel iron and thick ropes, was a creature so enormous and terrifying, yet so strangely sorrowful, that Aaron froze in awe. Its scales glimmered like wet obsidian. Its eyes glowed a haunting amber, and its body trembled with pain and fear. The monster growled softly, a sound more of anguish than threat. Every instinct screamed at Aaron to run, to escape the claws, the teeth, the power before him. But he didn't. Instead, he knelt, whispered soothing words, and carefully studied the trap. It was crude, set by hunters who sought fame and fear, yet Aaron's heart ached for the suffering being before him. He carefully loosened the ropes, every movement deliberate, calm, and precise, though his hands shook with terror. The monster flinched at every sound, eyes darting, muscles tensing. Yet there was something in Aaron's gaze, a blend of courage, empathy, and unspoken understanding, that slowly, almost imperceptibly, coaxed trust. Hours passed in the dimming twilight as the twin worked tirelessly, the forest around them silent, except for distant owls and the rustle of leaves. And finally, the last rope fell away. The creature stretched its massive limbs, testing its freedom, yet it did not flee. Instead, it lowered its colossal head, nudging Aaron gently, a gesture that spoke volumes. Gratitude, recognition, and the beginning of a bond that no one could foresee. Days turned into weeks, and Aaron returned to the clearing, bringing food, water, and the rare comfort of companionship. The villagers noticed his absences, but dismissed them as childish wandering. Leo, ever curious and sometimes annoyed by Aaron's secrecy, followed him one night, only to witness the monster from afar. His eyes widened with fear and awe, but instead of scolding, he found himself oddly humbled by the sight. The monster, meanwhile, watched the twins' lives unfold silently. Its amber eyes followed their daily routines, learning, understanding, and forming a bond that transcended fear. What Aaron did not realize was that every act of kindness, every careful touch and soothing word, was creating a debt not measured in money or promises, but in something far older: loyalty, protection, and an unbreakable connection. And so life went on in a delicate balance of secrecy, curiosity, and growing friendship. But the forest never forgot, and the monster's presence loomed quietly, waiting for the moment when its debt would be repaid, when danger would rise, and when the twin who had shown courage and compassion would need the creature's protection more than ever. The days after Aaron freed the monster passed in a mixture of quiet anticipation and cautious wonder. The village seemed unchanged, unaware of the secret that existed just beyond its edge. Yet for Aaron, every moment carried a new awareness. The force had shifted somehow, an almost imperceptible rhythm, a sense that unseen eyes followed him. And they did. The monster, once bound and fearful, now roamed the shadows near the village, observing the twins' lives with intelligence and care. Aaron continued his visits, bringing fruits, water, and occasionally small gifts he thought might please the creature. Leo, curious but slightly envious of his twins' connection, often tried to follow, hoping to witness the secret firsthand. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills and the sky turned a deep violet, Leo's curiosity got the better of him. He hid behind a thick oak and watched as the creature stepped out of the shadows. Its massive form glided silently, eyes glowing with intelligence and perhaps a hint of mischief. Unlike the terrifying monsters of legends, this one moved with purpose and gentleness, a silent guardian rather than a threat. Aaron knelt as he always did, and for a moment the forest was completely still. Then, as if sensing something he could not yet understand, Aaron turned to see Leo staring. The mischievous twin froze, heart pounding, realizing the full magnitude of the secret. The monster's gaze shifted toward Leo, but instead of aggression, there was curiosity, a quiet, measured assessment of character. Aaron motioned for Leo to remain still, whispering that the creature was watching, learning, and trusting in its own way. Weeks later, an unexpected danger approached. Hunters from a distant village had caught wind of the monster's presence. Driven by greed and the thrill of conquest, they came prepared with torches, traps, and weapons designed to strike fear into any creature legend. That night, Aaron had wandered farther into the forest than usual, unaware that the hunters were closing in, silently surrounding the clearing. When the first crack of a trap snapping echoed through the woods, Aaron's heart skipped a beat. He realized too late that he had walked into a carefully laid ambush. From the shadows, the monster emerged, colossal and terrifying. Its scales shimmered under the pale moonlight, eyes ablaze with a fierce glow that no human weapon could match. The hunters froze, unsure if what they faced was a demon or an angel of vengeance. With a roar that shook the treetops, the creature surged forward, scattering the hunters with a force that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Aaron watched, rooted in both fear and gratitude, as the being he had once saved now became his protector. The monster's actions were swift and precise. It guided Aaron away from danger, gently nudging him through hidden paths in the forest, ensuring that not a single blade of light from the hunters' torches could touch him. Leo, following cautiously, witnessed the loyalty and courage of a creature that had once been feared. In that moment, the twins understood something profound. Kindness, courage, and empathy were forces stronger than fear, might, or cruelty. The aftermath of that night left the hunters speechless and the village buzzing with whispers. Aaron never sought recognition, and the monster quietly returned to the forest, its presence lingering in the hearts of those who knew the truth. Leo, changed by the events, began to mirror his brother's compassion, understanding that bravery often comes in quiet, unseen acts. The bond between Aaron and the monster remained unbroken. They met in secret, sharing moments of trust, understanding, and an unspoken promise. No matter the danger, loyalty and courage would guide them. The forest, once a place of fear and mystery, became a sanctuary of connection, teaching the twins, and anyone who could perceive the lesson, that true bravery is measured not in weapons or strength, but in the depth of one's heart. As seasons passed, the tale of the monster and the twins remained unspoken to most, yet in the quiet of the forest, where the moonlight danced on leaves and shadows moved like whispers, the story lived on, a story of courage, compassion, and the profound power of kindness returned in the most unexpected ways. This story is more than a tale of adventure. It is a lesson in the transformative power of empathy and courage. In a world that often rewards fear, aggression, and self-interest, the twins' choice to help a creature others fear demonstrates a profound impact of kindness. Compassion is not weakness. It is strength, capable of creating bonds that endure even in the face of danger. Aaron's bravery was not measured by sword or shield, but by the courage to act when it mattered most, to extend understanding where others saw only fear. The monster's loyalty reflected universal truth. Those we help with genuine intent may return that kindness in ways we cannot predict, reminding us that empathy has a power beyond measure. Moreover, the twins' contrasting personalities illustrate that courage and compassion can inspire change in others. Leo, initially mischievous and skeptical, learns that witnessing acts of kindness can ignite his own sense of moral responsibility. True heroism often spreads quietly, influencing those around us to act with integrity, understanding, and care. The story also teaches us about trust and the nature of bonds formed through respect and compassion. Fear often keeps us from seeing the good in the unknown, yet stepping beyond fear allows us to uncover connections that enrich our lives. Aaron's actions transformed the monster from a feared creature into a guardian, demonstrating that empathy can convert fear into loyalty and friendship. Finally, the tale reminds us that courage and kindness are not always rewarded immediately or publicly. Sometimes, their rewards manifest in subtle ways, in loyalty returned, in safety preserved, or in hearts changed. By acting with courage and compassion, we not only protect and uplift others, but also cultivate a world where understanding and bravery guide our choices. In essence, this story is a timeless reminder that kindness matters. Courage defines us, and the bonds we create through empathy are among the most powerful forces in life. When we act with an open heart, we invite not only growth and trust, but also a ripple effect that can transform lives in ways beyond imagination.